To what extent does atmosphere created via sound and lighting affect the suspense of a movie in a psychological thriller film?
I believe that the sound and lighting help very well in enhancing the scenes of the film and the characters' emotions.
Do you think that religious connotations should be present in a psychological thriller film? So, for example, the threat of a supernatural being or crosses symbolising a way of scaring off individuals or threats?
You see, I don't believe that should be significant, as it's quite a hard verge to tread and it may discourage audiences from watching.
How important is a plot twist in a psychological thriller to you?
I believe they are very important, as the characters and the audience don't know what's happening, so it puts both in the same shoes.
Do you prefer a psychological thriller film to be fast-paced or slow-paced?
I believe it should be fast-paced because it keeps the characters and audience on their toes and they don't know what to expect.
Finally, what sort of camera shots would you say are synonymous with a psychological thriller film?
I believe that handheld shots are very key and should be paired with tracking shots and also contrasted with long shots to show the character's weakness.
Thank you very much. How important is a plot twist in a psychological thriller?
I think especially in a psychological thriller, a plot twist would really help with character development of the main character.
Do you prefer a psychological thriller to be fast-paced or slow-paced?
I feel like slow-paced is a lot more necessary, as you can actually show the development of the characters as well as their internal thoughts, as well as showing their external feelings, so like if they get angry or sad within.
Do you think religious connotations should be present in a psychological thriller?
I believe you could do it either ways. If you are able to do religious connotations, you should really focus on that aspect of it, or you can make it work without, but you should, in my eyes, have this idea of a higher belief within the main character.
What sort of camera shots would you say are synonymous with a psychological thriller?
For a psychological thriller, I really like when it's got close-ups and extreme close-ups, as it helps feel, for us as the audience, to feel the emotions they are, trying to play, if you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, well I ruined it there, the last part, but...
We'll just edit this bit out, okay? 3, 2, 1. To what extent does atmosphere created via sound and lighting affect the suspense created in a movie?
I think especially the audio you use and a good song choice for a trailer would definitely help, as when you are able to cut to the beat as well as provide like smooth and fast-paced transitions for especially the teaser trailer.
Thank you very much. To be fast-paced or slow-paced?
I think a psychological thriller should be slow-paced so you can ease the audience in better, so then they can have enough time to identify the small little details that you should put in that trailer.
How important would you say a twist is in a psychological thriller film?
I think it's quite important, as it does serve as a progressing point for the narrative. I think that's what engages audience in, makes them think more.
Do you think religious connotation should be present in a psychological thriller film?
I think they can be, but I feel like they should be done right, because if they're done wrong, then the trailer would just be boring and it just wouldn't work.
What sort of camera shots do you think are synonymous with a psychological thriller film?
Synonymous with a psychological thriller? I think maybe lots of close-ups to identify specific details within the narrative would be quite useful.
And finally, to what extent does atmosphere created via sound, lighting affect the suspense created in a psychological thriller film?
Sorry? So I think with the use of different types of sounds and different very gritty sort of lighting, I feel like would be successful in creating that suspenseful atmosphere, especially drawing the audience into the actual narrative as well. I feel like that's quite important.
Okay, thank you very much.
No worries.
Lighting can be used to create suspense in a psychological thriller.
Well, dark lighting definitely creates a spookier atmosphere.
if you make sure you get like a spotlight on the person's face, that means you can capture like the fear. And editing wise, you can use on DaVinci, you can use many like different editing tools which can like enhance your filming to make it a lot more scarier.
What sort of camera shots would you say should be used for a psychological thriller?
I think extreme close-ups are too close, so I think close-ups would be very good because it captures their expression. You can capture stuff in the background, but establishing shots are like very important as the audience like to know where they are.
Do you think religious connotations should be present within a psychological thriller?
Yeah, I do, and I think there shouldn't be too many, but the connotations you choose should be very meaningful and powerful to your psychological thriller.
Do you think that a twist should be present within a psychological thriller?
Yes, but it can't change the entire story, especially if you've got the audience engaged and they're like really into it, and then you hit a twist, it might ruin the movie. So it needs to like improve it.
And finally, do you prefer a psychological thriller to be fast-paced or slow-paced?
Definitely fast-paced.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.